my name's Rebekka, and I did the story of Beloved by Toni Morrison. This book was set back in post-Civil War, right after the slaves were freed, so 10 years after. And then this story focuses on this one huge family. They lived in this one plantation called Sweet Home, and they all just lived all happily ever after together, right after they were free. And then after that, then something dreadful happened, but I'm not going to spoil that. That most of them died. And then there was this one grandma who had a lot of sons, and then a couple other kids after that too. And then one of the sons married this woman named Setha, which is the main character of the story. And basically, she had 3 kids, and then 2 of them passed away. And then there was her last daughter. She was killed when she was a baby, but she died nameless. So they named her in her tombstone Beloved. And ever since then, she haunts the house that Setha and her daughter, her alive daughter, basically live in now. And ever since then, the house is haunted. And then there's this one man named Paul D that meets Setha along the way, and he basically purifies the house, kinda, basically. And then one day they go to this carnival, and then they have a good time. But then when they get back home, they meet this young woman who is really sick, and then she's really sick, and then they take care of her. But then they realize that the woman was actually Beloved. I don't know. It's really weird how it doesn't really specifically say if it's a ghost, if it's the ghost of Beloved, or if she comes back alive or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of weird. And then after that, and then everything else goes downhill after that. But most of the story actually goes back to the family's past lives of when they were slaves. So most of them were most of the story was flashbacks of how torturous and how horrible their slaves' lives were. It actually goes in great depth of what their slave lives consisted of, and how the importance of what slavery, how torturous it was. And then there's also another thing that the flashbacks, they're actually not italicized. You know, like in usual flashbacks where they're usually italicized and actually give you that kind of feel that they were, but they're actually not at all. It makes it seem like that's the actual story plot. But the one thing that I noticed is that since the flashbacks are there, it makes it seem like that their life, their past life will never leave them. That their slave lives were in really vivid memory, and that it can never go away from them. They can never leave them, and that so that's actually really symbolic in a way, because there's slavery in general. If their family was a slave and stuff like that, since it was so torturous and so traumatic to them, that it will never leave them. It will always be in their memory, and we'll never forget. And yeah, that's basically the story.